3. How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, here back to give you some updates on some of the things that's been going on in Texas. In case you haven't been paying attention to the news, or maybe you just have been busy with the summer, I understand it happens, kids, lots of things like that. We tried to call a special session to pass some election integrity bills that we weren't able to get passed back in the regular session because the Democrats walked out at the last minute. Well, just like many of us suspected, they did the exact same thing all over again. The House was in session for like less than a week. I think it was only about 4 or 5 days before they all decided to skip out on their job. So even despite that, some of the Senate Democrats, even despite the fact that they decided to jump on a private charter bus, which my question is, who's paying for all of this? They were able to get a charter bus from the Capitol to a private airfield, get on a private airplane, which if you've seen some of the pictures, by the way, they were not wearing masks. They had Miller Lite on their private charter bus on the way to this private chartered plane to Washington, D.C. so they could hide away. They didn't even pick a good beer. Well, they didn't pick a Texas beer. They had Miller Lite. I mean, Miller Lite's not my thing, but everybody's different. But you'd think at least if they were going to try to present themselves to be Texas representatives, they would have at least picked a Texas beer to take with them. But I guess that shows you they're not really Texans. They're just a bunch of cowards, and Texans aren't cowards. Now are we? So this is kind of some of the general rundown. The Senate decided to go ahead and pass a bill because the Senate we had a quorum in. The Senate Democrats didn't play the same games that the idiots in the House did. So they actually stuck around. They have a quorum in the Senate right now. They're working on things, mostly just kind of milling around, I would imagine, because there's only so much you can do. But the senators did pass a really big, nice, comprehensive election integrity package. Obviously, it's not going to get anywhere because the House doesn't have a quorum, so there's really not much they can do with any of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what's going on with all of them. One of the ironic parts that I found about all of this when these Democrats ran off, I think according to this article, which this one might be a little outdated from where we're at now, it looks like it's up to date. It looks like up to 5 of the Texas Democrats that left all tested positive for COVID, and supposedly they're all, they got the squeezy in their arm, if you know what I mean, which is funny. So, but I thought it was ironic that they all got it. They basically kind of turned their little expose into running off and not doing their job into a super spreader event in Washington, D.C., because I think there was like 10 of them that were at this section, and over half of them were infected with COVID, and then they had ended up infecting a whole bunch of other people too. So yeah, they're really spreading the coof around in Washington, D.C. Good job, Texas Democrats. Way to really show your gall. So yeah, so they're running around up there. They've caused a bunch of people to get COVID, apparently, even some of Nancy Pelosi's on staff, which, once again, I find hilariously ironic. Either way, ironic, very funny, very interesting anyway. So that's kind of the rundown on where we're going. The election integrity bills are just kind of sitting, waiting. They have been doing some work in the House as far as they've got one that's called HB 3. It's missing some things. There's not as much stuff in there as what we would like. But overall, it's not too terribly bad. Hopefully, if we ever do get a session going again, we can get some of that stuff filled back and all of that. But one of the real reasons I want to talk to you guys today is we have a slight problem. So like I said before, Austin is a rumor mill like you would not believe. So one of the rumors that's going around Austin right now that we just got found out from one of our little birdies up there is that our Speaker of the House, Phelan here, as you can see on the screen, is trying to work a backroom deal to gut HB 3 of all of its teeth and all of its good things, all of the good priority parts of it that we need to really secure the elections in Texas and improve them and make them more secure. He's going to gut all of that stuff out just so he can get the Democrats to show back up. Now, like I said, this is a rumor. I don't know how much truth there is to this. There might be none. It might be bunk. But normally our sources are pretty good inside the Capitol. So what I'm asking you to do, just like I've already done, and I'm going to show you here in a second, is I want you to get a hold of Speaker Phelan, and I want to get you a hold of anybody else that you know in the Texas House or in the Senate or anywhere else up in Austin that you can call that can give us a straight answer on this, because we need to know if this is true or not. Because I'm sorry, if that's what it takes to get the Democrats back, let them rot in Washington, D.C. We do not need some BS, gutted, fake bill that is election integrity in name only, just like the Republicans in name only we have. An election integrity project bill that does not give us everything we need and everything we want is going to be rejected. If you gut this to do a backdoor bill, the Election Integrity Project of Nueces County and all 200 plus members are watching. We are paying attention, and we are listening to everything you do. You will hear phone calls from us. You will see us back in your Capitol knocking at your door, politely asking you to support proper election integrity. Backroom deals and gutting out bills to save face for an election is exactly what put us in this situation. Stop being a rhino. Do not give us an election integrity bill in name only either. Stand up, grow a pair, understand these Democrats are possessed, and I use that word specifically, possessed by the spirit of the age. There is no compromise with these people. They have no desire to work with us. They have no desire to be reasonable or logical. They desire to destroy and corrupt and get their way and only their way. They are the child throwing a tantrum in the middle of Walmart because you are not going to buy them the candy they want. You have one of two options. Punish the child, or you will end up putting up with this forever. And guess what? As the voters, as the people who elect you, if you do not act like the proper parent, we will remove you and find leaders who will stand up and act like adults and do their job. So for all the rest of you listening to this and watching this, this is what I wanted to show you. This is what I've already been doing. So today I put out a text message or a tweet that says rumor going around is they are going to gut HB 3 in order to get the Democrats to show back up. If we can't get a good bill, then what's the point? They will have to answer for it. I tagged Don Huffins. He's one of the guys that's running for governor against Abbott in the primaries next year. I asked him, I said, have you heard this? Don's got a lot of people inside of the Capitol. He's always getting a lot of good information coming out. I told him, I said, we need to get the word out to everyone. No compromises. All right, so let me go back through here and I'll show you, go up a little bit on this one. Because Don actually, go back. Sorry about that. Hold on. Don actually retweeted it. There we go. Don actually retweeted it, and I thought that was kind of cool because he added a little bit of his 2 cents around in here as well. He says, this would just be the latest example of Greg Abbott's failed leadership. After Democrats pulled this same stunt 60 days ago, remember, that's the reason why we didn't get this election integrity bill passed last time, is they walked out on the last Sunday night and we lost our quorum because they knew it was going to pass and they didn't like it. After Democrats pulled this same stunt 60 days ago, he signed hundreds of their bills into laws. It's a fact. He doesn't understand leverage. He just wants talking points rather than the win. And that's what it sounds like. We're getting the exact same thing out of our Speaker of the House, out of Phelan right now. All right, I think that's exactly what it sounds like. This is talking points. This is like, oh, look, I got him back. Look what I did. I compromised. I got it. I got him back so we could accomplish the goal. No, Bubba, you don't get to accomplish the goal in name only. It doesn't work that way. So I highly recommend any of you that don't have a Twitter account, please create one. Get on here. Call these people out. The majority of these guys are on Twitter in one shape or of another. The only one I really couldn't find, let's see if I can go back through here and find it, was, I can't remember his name. It's Huffins, or there's one of the others. Hold on, I'm going to look it up. Watch. See, this is how classy we are. This is how professional I am. We are so good at these kind of things. This is how professional. Murr doesn't have a Twitter account, but Ashby and Phelan are supposedly the two that are spearheading this, as well as Murr. Murr doesn't have a Twitter account. He does have a Facebook page. I do highly recommend going over there and lighting him up on that too. But right here, if you want to pause the video, this has got Speaker of the House. This has got a lot of it. This has got his district information as well as the Capitol address. Light these phones up, okay? Make some phone calls, send some emails. Do not let them get away with this, okay? We are finally on the cusp of being able to pay attention and take control back of Austin and to return the votes back to the people and the voices back to the people in Austin, in all of Texas, through Austin. So we've got to get out there. If we're getting these rumors out, if we can squash this stuff before it actually goes through, if we can keep them on their toes and let them know that we are constantly watching, constant vigilance on these people, they know they can't get away with anything and it'll stop them in their tracks. Only through us paying attention, standing up, getting involved, and directly taking care of these things ourselves are we ever going to change this. These little rats and these little rhinos will worm and scheme and do whatever they can to keep their cushy butts in those seats without any consequences if they can get away with it. The only way they're not going to get away with it is if we pay attention. So please, get involved and look this stuff up. Go to my Twitter account, check that out, retweet it, call these people up, light up your own representatives, and let them know. Nueces County and all of Texas will not settle for a second-rate election integrity bill. We need a good one or nothing at all. This is Jesse from the Common Man, Corpus Christi. Thanks, guys.